All right, let's talk about the Paloma. Now, I'm starting with the Horizon because this is what the place is called currently, and they're rebranding. So we had already built this monument, and we already put a bunch of signs up and everything like that. So this is going to be a mixture of new stuff and working with old stuff. So, but essentially the scope of what you guys need to fab and create are 5 sets of different styles of channel letters. And then there's a 6th set that's there. It's an address set that we did previously. So technically there's 6 total sets of signs that you guys are dealing with, but install's dealing with 1, and you have to make 5 fresh ones. So we'll go over all that right now. So you have basically these funky letters. So this is the permit drawing here. So we're retrofitting our monument. We're taking down those Horizon letters. And then there's another set that's just a little bigger, but it's the same thing that's going on a wall. And then we also have a set of basically regular channel letters that, I got bad news here, the customer does want us to reverse channel letter all the way around this. And, you're going to have to fabricate this whole thing. And I think it's like 6 inches deep. So, psych, just kidding. No, we're going to do the agua caliente trick. We're just going to do the inside. I'll show you that. But you have a set of reverse channel letters that are going on a wall they're building. Now this shows 3 here. So we have this, and we have this, and we have this. Now the scope has changed a little bit since they did this. They're adding another set of these, but smaller. They're going in a different location. And there's these little letters that say lobby. So those are your 5, but we'll go over all that. Let's just I broke it up as far as like I have the monument letters, the one Paloma funky, and then I have the wall letters, which are the Paloma. And then the reverse channel letters, I went ahead and did all of those 3 sets on one file. So that way, that's how it's broken down for you guys. So you guys will get 3 different PDFs and all that. So just try to keep it kind of simple, and what's alike is alike and stuff like that. So let's do lay of the land for basically all of it here. So this one here is for the monument letters. They're just a little smaller, but they're the same as the wall. You're going to get 1/4-inch plate. You got a non-illuminated and then these are the backer pieces. You got island fills on the back for screw clearance and whatnot. For route, just make sure that you're using the same radius bit when you cut these out as you are the acrylic, because they have to match. You have a raceway for the monument one. There's no there is a tiny little raceway. We'll go over that for the wall one. Also for the monument, these will look random once they're routed, but make sure you don't lose these. These are just going to be strips that get stuck to the existing monument bar. We'll go over that, but don't lose those. You'll have your 1.5-inch clear acrylic. We'll go over that. And then you have install patterns both for the monument and the letters for the monument sign. And then for the wall letters, it's going to be the exact same thing, just a little bit bigger. You've got island fills, make sure everything's there. You're going to have just a little tiny power supply. If you are paying attention, playing along at home, this is the Lyman one. It's a little bit bigger, but I stole the Lyman house because they had to tuck it. This is going to tuck inside of like an access panel. So you got your acrylics, just a little bigger than the other ones. You'll have your patterns. So we'll go over that here in a second, but let me just keep going with lay of the land. So with these are going to be much more familiar for you. You're going to have your reverse channel letter faces, 090, and look for bend scribes on the inside where your return is going to be. This is the same as the Monument Raceway. It's just shrunk down, just horizontally. It's same dimensions and everything. So technically the end caps and everything are the same as the Monument letters. So just keep an eye out for this bad boy. And you are going to need another one of these. This is identical to the other set you just saw. So we're just living that Keystone life on this entire project. I just kept it the same. So you're just going to bring in Keystones for all this. You have channel letter tabs, and because the letters are small, they're the single rivet skinny boys. You got 2 inchers and you got 1.5 inches. And then there's going to be a big Raceway box for 063. Just keep an eye out for that. That's for the wall mounted ones. And so then you got all your polycarbonates like we do, and yes, strain reliefs. And you have some little acrylic bars. No room for brass inserts, so these just go straight out. They get tapped, and off they go. You'll have plenty of patterns there. So But let's get back to the how to do the Paloma wall letters and the monument, same thing. So the idea is that you have this like glow coming from the top of it. So this is going to be opaqued, and it just needs to have a little glow bar. And then, so the idea is to, try to get this as smooth as possible. So it's either going to be possibly the frosting you get from routing will be enough, or you might need to 320 this, or I think worst case scenario is that, yes, we would have to use some sort of vinyl on there, but I don't know how that's going to hold up over weather and all that. So I think it'd be nice if we could just try to make it work with like sanding it and giving it like an etching look. I didn't want to use Bitro because first the cost, but second, the Bitro doesn't throw light like that. The Bitro will probably kind of shut it down a little bit. I think it's to get a good glow. We want to have the clear, but like I say, cost as well. So let's see. So what we're going to do is take that. Let's see, I'll get a side view of that. So I don't know if you want to use bend lux. What I'm giving you is a 1-inch channel that the LED is going to sit in here. And the LED is going to sit right across there. Tuck it in as much as you think you need to. And then that, you got about a 1/2 inch from here to here is going to, let that glow out. So just kind of experiment and see what's the best for that. But once you decide, maybe you could use principal as well. Maybe the principal stuff will fit in there. Okay. There's room enough to stagger it too. So if you get to the point where like, if you need to offset it or I don't know, experiment with it, see what's up. And then you're going to collect your leash. This little tray here is down 3/8. So you can bring your wire into what I'm calling the connection cup. That's why I'm calling that the connection cup right there. I'm giving you a 1-inch deep circle that you can then put your wire nuts or solder or however you're going to do the leash. So you can make your, get your wire, collect it through this little channel into here. And then you're just going to fill that with silicone. You can just fill the whole thing and then encase that with silicone. And that's going to be both your strain relief. Let that cure up for a good day, as we do. That'll be both your waterproofing and your strain relief. Plus, if you feel like you need to sort of seal this up all the way along, maybe just silicone these in. That way you could help with water. We just want to make sure. That's why the Benlux might be better because they're sort of water resistant-ish, better than like the Principal and stuff. So make sure we're doing something in there that kind of help watertight these. And then for the letters that need a jumper, I have a P next to here for leash. That's power out. So you'll have your little strip of LEDs here, collect it through. You can do a connection cup, silicone it up, but then this gives you a little channel to run your wire over and then do your main connection and leash out for that. These do have brass inserts. So you're going to go ahead and tap your brass inserts in. And then that way they'll have their 1024 studs out the back. And then when it comes time to assemble these, you'll just use number 10 screws, machine screws, 1024s on the back. I have clearance right there. The screw can fit right in there, and then you'll be good to go. Let's see, I think I had that set up there. Yeah. So there it is all together. So your screw will fit in there. You've got your brass inserts, and then you'll just 1024 stud out the back for install. And then they'll just silicone these on, or maybe take out some, liquid nails or something that's, adhesive epoxy or something to really give it some good, to get some good love on there. But so they're pretty straightforward. They're not that difficult per se. It's just we never done that up glow and just making sure that it looks nice, making sure that it has a nice even glow. Even if you can sort of see hot spots, I think on the acrylic per se, people aren't going to be walking. I mean, these are going to be up on a building. One set is, you're never going to see like up, you're not going to see down on it, just so long as this glow is nice and even. And then the monument as well, you could walk up to the monument and then look at the letters, but technically you're not supposed to be walking up to the monument, whatever. So like I say, just give it a little test, but I think you kind of get the idea of these. These are actually pretty straightforward. Now for install / just so you guys know, these powers are going to be going all the way through the power, through the monument, sort of like Flower Company we did. That's why that Raceway looks a lot like Flower Company, because I just borrowed it from that. So power is going to go straight through, and then you're going to collect it on the back with a little Raceway box on the back there. Now the other set that goes in the wall, they don't want, obviously this looks like it's in probably somebody's unit or something, so they can't have that box. I was actually going down that road, and then there was like, no, we can't do that. So they're going to collect these like Lyman inside the wall and then just do an access panel. So that's why this set for the wall letters has the Lyman House one. Now, because Keystone has generously changed the size of their stuff, the Lyman House stuff won't fit anymore. So now also I went ahead and made the spacing, the purple and the orange here are two different points for mounting either the 12 or 24 Keystone. As you can see, the 12 is a little shorter than the 24. So all of these are made for whichever one you decide to use. If there's a new product that's 24, fine. Obviously, Benelux is 12, so you'll be using the 12 on those. So for the wall-mounted one, though, you have a Lyman House one here and Lyman House. And then for the Raceway one here on the Monument, it's exactly the same build, except you're making this long Raceway. And on the back side, I have access for all the holes to come through for the power. And then you'll see on here, I gave you the same little layout. So you have your 12 volt or your 24 volt. I gave you a couple points for bonding. You can decide which side is switch or not, whatever. I put switch, but you technically can swap it. Well, no, actually you can on this one because this is unidirectional. So the switch is on the right. But the power supply, or if you need two power supplies, I don't know. You can put one over here and you can put one over here. So anyway, this looks pretty familiar. It has a double-walled end caps. So if you remember from Flower Co., the outside one's bigger, the inside one's smaller. You slide this one inside that one. That way it gives it a little pocket for the power supply to live in. Also, it keeps water through, outside of the box. But the top goes on and then you sandwich it all together. Use your extra long rivets, all that stuff. So that's really it for that. The fixed strips. So when install, this is for install. Install goes over to take these letters off. If they remember or not, probably not. There's a 1/4 inch like inner core that's doing all the work. This is a side profile. And then these letters are pin mounted with bolts through. So you have access to the bolts. So if you want to take the bottom of the Raceway off and actually undo those bolts, fine. If you want to just go through and slice them off, fine. And then let the bolt heads fall in, that's your choice, whatever. But the idea is that when you're done, you're going to have this row of holes all the way along the top of it, and it's going to look tacky. So install is just going to double stick tape the fixed pieces. They're just 2 strips of 090, and they are going to fit between the lens and because you can see where the lens is here for the uplight. So essentially it's just going to fit between the lens and the end of the front of the Raceway. So sure, the piece will be right here, and then it's going to actually like have a seam. So it'll be just a piece of stacked 090, but that's fine. It's better than seeing all the holes. So it goes right up to the lens, just flush it to the front. And yes, the front will have a seam. We went back and forth whether we should bend it down and make it look clean or whatever, but this is just the easiest, quickest, and it's going to look fine. So that's it. So for the Monument one, that's it. You're just going to, do this fix here, cut the letters off, and then mount the letters to the wall. And then run your power through, put your box up on the back side, and then you should be good to go there. The wall letters, good luck fishing those wires to a small access point, and then you're going to use this little guy here, and that takes care of that. So like I said, these are the quote-unquote tricky letters, but they're not really that tricky. You got it. So now let's just go to, let's wrap it up with the easy stuff here. These are just regular reverse channel letters. You got 2-inch depth on the bigger set, and then you have 1.5 inches for the smaller set. This is the same thing though. This is going next to like a restaurant or something, and they don't have any way of having a collection point on the back side. So it's going to be the exact same this is the same one as the Paloma letters. And it's going to go inside. They're going to do a little collection point and then do an access hole. So that's for that one. And then this is obviously the same thing. These are the same end caps and everything. It's just very small, a lot smaller, but you have room for 1 or 2, depending on what color you guys use. This little power supply box there. And then this goes behind the word lobby. So, and these are 2-inch deep. So anyway, and then like I said, there is that set of address letters that you don't have to deal with, but they are in play. So when people talk about a total of 4 reverse channel letter sets, there's technically 3 you're making and then 1's out there. So don't let them throw you. So, and we can maybe discuss when it comes time for UL or whatever, how we break it up. If we want to do just like this set as 1 in the book and then this set as 1 in the book. I don't know if we want to do the entire job, obviously, as just one big pile of labels. So maybe we'll just break it up into each, like all 5. So, and then this one here, because it's going on the back of that wall, we're just going to collect all the wires into one big, box here. But also it might have a little difficulty of accessing it. So the idea is once you get everything connected, I put everything to the side. So that way, install for future servicing, hopefully, as long as you don't have to deal with any wiring, you can just run everything to the side here and you have side access. So nothing too crazy. This is all rivet together, but you're going to have an inside piece that you bend, and then it's going to go to the inside here, and then you can rivet it on both sides. And then your switch box goes inside that. So you want to do that first. You want to put the switch box here with the top up inside this box, rivet that, and then go ahead and slide this box inside this end here, and then you can rivet that. And that gives you an opening to the bottom. It gives, ventilation and whatnot. But then you have a secondary kind of housing for the switch, and then just use the switch plate from the front. So that way it's easy access. You can see where you can access the switch plate here, and then it'll just have an overall cover that will cover all of this up. So, and then hopefully with this top guy here, there should be enough water exclusion, but we'll see. We might have to add a little cover or something, but I think it'll be okay. Should be enough water exclusion there for that. Anyway, but going forward, that's it for that. You got that kind of box, and then install is just going to put that on the backside, wire it all up. You got your standard crisscross. I'd crisscross this guy a little bit too if you want. And then I think that's it. You got your install patterns. So reverse channels, you got these letters. I think you know what's up with that. You know what's up with that. So yeah, I think that's it. Like I said, it's just a lot going on, but, yeah, reverse channels. Like I said, we're mimicking what we did. So this is your overall, let's see, there. So I gave you this reference kiss here. It's on the inside. It'll be a 5/32 bit. So, like you do, just put your return to the inside, but up to the outer edge, and just work your way around there. Put your return around there, and then your polycarb will fit inside there like that. So kind of like what you do, just push the outside edge. That's all good. So you do it on that little guy there, and do it on that little guy there. So I had you going on that. I know you were scared. All right. But I think that's it. That's it. Good luck. If you have any questions, hit me up.
Check the technique. Check the technique.